I am here with Johan. You are the owner's son, so you're really in command.
Yeah, it's been a long way with our company. Ponsse has founded 1970 by my father.
Yeah, so your dad started it in 1970, so you are a Ponsse.
Yeah, I was born 1970, so I have had a very close up with the company all these years.
Oh yes, you've been around a long time.
Yeah, but actually I didn't came directly to the business. I was studying as a teacher first.
Oh really?
Then I turned to working in marketing in the company. Nowadays I'm working with the public relations.
And that's the important part. The marketing is everything.
Marketing, and also the challenge in the whole forest industry is that we need to explain more why the forest industry is important, because taking care of the climate change, we are the solution, we are not the problem. And
exactly.
This is something what we have to do more and more.
We talk about that a lot in the States here. We talk about states that don't manage properly because fire is natural.
Absolutely.
And if they don't manage it, they will have fire.
There's a huge biomass. There's a huge biomass that...
And they don't get that on the far west coast.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. But anyway, it gives the opportunities for the future to look after that, how we really should take care of the forest in US and how the forest industry can bring the solutions.
Correct. Well, people don't realize this, but trees are the world's most renewable resource.
Absolutely. Renewable is the name of the thing. How much we can use the wooden products, we are replanting, and forest is growing. And then we have to look after biodiversity.
Sure.
In US you have a lot of different species of forest here, and that's totally different comparing to Finland, where we are in the really north. But
you guys have spruce and birch, right?
Yeah, mostly, yeah. and the thing is that anyway, where we are, in the States or Europe or whatever, we have to find the sustainable way to operate in the forest. So in the other way, we need to have social license to operate. So people understand that it's not only cutting trees, but it's replanting, having healthy forests.
Correct.
And when the young forest is growing, it's best for the whole climatic change.
Yes.
The young growing forest.
Yes, and different age classes, and then...
Absolutely.
Yes.
Different species. We need forestry roads, of course, to operate in the forest, but it's not only making the roads for the forest, but also forest fire work is much more easier. That these kind of things we have to plan more together.
I have a friend who's a big logger in this area, and he says he plants more trees than he harvests every year, and he's got 20 employees. And so they run a lot of Ponsse equipment.
Somehow we have missed to give this message to everybody that, hey, even we operate 100,000 cubic per year, we are still planting more.
Correct.
To
Absolutely.
Grow.
Yeah, because it's good for everybody. It's good for the whole environment.
Yeah, and in US there is a tradition that everybody who owns the forest, he wants to give it in the better shape for the next generation.
Right.
Because most of the people think that we just cut the trees just like that, but there's always behind somebody who owns the land, owns the forest. They have the families, they have children to grow up, and they want to keep it in the better shape.
Yeah, because it's in 40 years, it's going to be another crop. It's really different than farming.
And this is also one challenge that the people in our times, they don't have the time window.
Correct.
They have the situation today or this year. They don't have these 40 years, like you say, to see how the forest develops and how it's coming back again.
Absolutely. So you guys make how many different machines?
So in Ponsse we have the main products are harvester lines and forwarder lines, and also we have harvester head lines. So all together, when we put the family products, we have 27 different products coming out of the factory. And every machine we build, it's tailorized by our customers. So it's never the same machine we build.
A lot of input from your customers.
Yes. Yeah, now, so that's important, because people who work in the cabin, they need to feel the machine that it's just for you, and all these things what we can put there and make the work more ergonomy. Everybody knows that when you work 8 or 10 hour shifts, it comes to your hands, it comes to your shoulders, but when you have the ergonomy at the right level, it helps a lot.
And you guys have what, about 1,200 employees, something like that?
We are all together now 2,100.
Oh, 2,000.
2,100
I thought it was
globally.
Yeah, that's a bunch.
There's 37 different countries where we operate.
No kidding. What's your number one country as far as sales?
Finland, Sweden.
Sweden.
Those are the Catalan countries. Then US, Germany. That's quite
Canada, I suppose, too.
Canada is also, yeah, that's true. It's about all the total what we build every year is about 1,000 units.
Units a year.
Yeah,
Wow.
per year.
So what's this machine back here? What are we looking at? Is this a Buffalo here?
So no, it's a Vision. Yeah, it's the smallest forwarder, and for every kind of forest, we want to have the size of the machine to be exact. And of course, nowadays we have more and more 8-wheel harvesters, 8-wheel forwarders,
Right.
because the ground pressure is actually smaller with this machine in the full capacity comparing when I'm walking in the forest.
Right.
Because my step goes deeper than this machine.
Right,
I'm
right.
220 pounds, so it's a lot
Solid
of
steel
pressure.
though, right? You're
Yeah.
solid steel?
Yeah, solid steel. That's how I say it at home, yeah. But that's the point. And that is a lot of the idea what we really have to carry out also.
Right.
And right size of the machine for the right side of timber, and then the ground pressure what we have to look, because more and more, of course, the forest owners, they want not so
Low impact.
deep, yeah, low
Right.
impact.
Yeah, there's
And
a lot
that's
of
all-
people that don't want their forest cut because they don't want it tore up.
It's really
So they'll only
hard to
hire
look
guys
yeah.
with smaller equipment.
Yeah, that's true.
So what's this one down here? Is this a Buffalo down here?
Yeah, Buffalo is next here. So
My
now
brother drove one of those for a couple of years for
Yeah.
guys, and he really liked it. He said it's a great machine.
And it's also the size of the machine. One question that if you have a small machine, you have to drive more often to get the load. But if you have the bigger machine, you do it in one load or less time in the forest. So it's also that how many times you drive around the forest. So there's a lot of things to do the operation in the forest. And what we see in this show here is, of course, in US, so many kind of machines here,
Right.
and everybody certainly find their own kind of machine. We are not telling anybody that you have bad choice, but we tell everybody that think about how we do the work with these machines.
Right, right.
And usually that's a really good discussion.
So what do you got here? What is this? This is a new head, or is this the 8 or the 7?
Yeah, this is the
This is the 8, H8.
Yeah,
That's the big one,
H8.
yeah. That's the big
biggest
one.
head, one of the biggest head we have, and of course now we are beside our Scorpion Giant. 10 years ago we launched Scorpion,
Right,
so
right.
it's a 10 years history, and now we already have a Giant, and this is the best example when we really start to think about the productivity. We make that totally new crane concept 10 years ago, and we built 3 different frames to the machine, and in the middle the frame is carrying our cabin. And the main thing here is that we have sensor technology. The operator is quite steady all the time.
Right.
Even the machine goes on in the forest, in the deep snow.
Sure.
The one who is operating machine after 8-hour or 10-hour shift, the last hours are still not fresh to do, but even better than comparing in the old days. And that makes the productivity. So we have people in the center here.
Correct.
It's not bigger engine, not bigger machine, not faster head or crane, but it's thinking that people who do the work, he can feel better after the long day, and
yeah.
even after the working day,
Yeah,
because you
yeah.
have the next day to go.
Right, you want him to come back to work. You don't want him
Yeah,
to show up one
yeah.
day and decide he's done.
Yeah,
Very nice.
and of course, this kind of environment, what we have here is modern technology that most of the people, when you ask about forestry, they don't have any image anymore, or they have the bad image that hey, if you cannot get the job from McDonald's, go to forestry, because then everybody can work there with these machines.
Wow.
But if you look these kind of machines, you need to have training, you have to have education background, you have to know how to operate, and you have to find skillful people to do with this.
Right, well, because a lot of stuff's computerized, obviously, you got that, but then you need the skill to know the right trees, cutting at the right time in the right place. And
That's true.
your species separation, your bolts from your logs, from your pulpwood, and you got to be able to know all that.
Yeah, and that's the professional skill,
Oh, yeah.
which is not easy to learn if you don't have
It
any
takes
background.
years. It takes years.
And like in Finland, we have the challenge that we have 13 forestry school full of students. Everybody learned the simulator. We have the simulator training here. They learn the young guys in 2 weeks. They are perfect.
Yeah.
But when they go out to the forest, most of the guys have never been in the forest.
Right.
And this is the cap.
Right.
Well, what we didn't have 20 years ago. People were hunting more, people were doing the forestry work every now and then in the families, they were living in countryside. But now most of the students, they live in the small cities,
yeah.
and they don't have any more the contact to the
Nature.
nature and
Correct.
countryside. Same with the people living in the cities. it's already the third or fourth generation who have never visited in the farm. There's no grandparents, no cousins.
There's a reason why when they have retreats for people to get their mind right, they go to the country.
Yeah.
It's a natural place to be, is in the woods and nature. Because it's calming, it's just the place to be.
And we need to have this natural forest. We need to have a place that we don't touch them. But then the big question is that more we need areas that we take care of the forest.
Right.
We take care that there's no possibilities for the forest fires, that and also all kind of diseases, below that kind of things is possible if we don't take care. So we can do it everything together.
Right. Right.
And usually the challenge is that somebody is just want to save everything, but we would like to find a good discussion that maybe we find the solution between that.
Yes, everybody can work together. I understand. I like nature, but there are some people that think we should just leave it alone. Well, then you're gonna, like you say, you're gonna have forest fires because trees will die off, and if you don't take care of them, fire is the most natural thing that happens to clean a forest out.
Yeah.
And logging can mitigate that.
And also the logging, we have the map programs already there, so we can have a satellite connection, and we can look after that. We can plan the work better in the forest all the time. We have the tires that they don't go so deep at all. Right. So we have a lot of sustainability already around here, how we can do the work even better in the future. Right. The better we plan, the better the nature will stay also in that good shape.
Yeah, because you want to stay in business, you want the forest to be good, you want it to be good for the future, for future generations.
And forest is something that people have always think the future, because you cannot lose it.
No.
We need furnitures, we need the products that we can replace the fossil fuels.
See, that's the thing people don't realize, how many things are made out of wood. It's millions of things are made with wood.
Absolutely.
I mean, houses, paper, all the boxes they get from Amazon, paper, comes from trees. Toilet paper, try living without that.
We are replacing already plastic in the bottles and everywhere. And also the big thing is the energy.
Yes.
We can use the wood chips, and we have a power plant, biomass.
Exactly.
That's a big thing in Finland. Europe is growing more and more. The price of electricity, price of energy is going up in many places globally.
Right. When it comes to energy, a lot of people say, they want this kind or that kind of source. I want to use all the sources properly.
Absolutely. That is what, for example, in Finland, we have that plate model that we have to have all kind of energy sources.
Oh, yeah.
And then we have to find what we use in different areas.
Yeah.
For example, in our area, we live in a small village in the eastern part of Finland. In our village, we have 3,500 people, but we have 8,000 cows. And those cows make a lot of shit. And now our county is building a biogas terminal going to the farms, so we can get the biogas, which we can sell. And also, for example, our factory, we use now biogas in our painting lines. Nice. So we can find a reasonable way to go, but we just cannot say that we don't need cows. We don't need forestry or whatever.
Well, when people don't like the whole, dairy industry or the beef industry, I like to eat.
Yeah.
And all the sources of food are good.
Absolutely, yeah. This is not limited anything, but we have to have a reasonable way to use it.
Yeah, to use it right.
That's how it goes.
Exactly.
Same in forestry. That's the main thing.
Yeah. Very nice. I see you got a lot of people here talking to people. You guys must do really well at this show, I'm guessing.
This is going very well, yeah.
Is this one of your bigger shows that you guys do?
Yeah.
And then you have one on the West Coast that's big too, right?
There is a couple of shows, but as a Great Lakes area is such a big market for cut to length, so this is the best for us.
Yeah, the Great Lakes area all the way around it with Ontario and Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, the whole area. There's a lot of logging, a lot of logging.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people on my channel that will ask me, like, how do you get logs? Because there's no logging in my area. Mm-hmm. And then tell me where they live. They live somewhere in the Southwest where there's no trees. Well, that's why.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You can't make trees where there aren't. I mean, you can, but it takes a lifetime to do that.
It takes time, yeah, absolutely.
Well, very nice. Well, thanks so much for the talk here. That was awesome.
Very much.
Thanks for talking. That's good. So if you guys are interested, you guys have websites. Obviously, there's a lot of loggers that watch this kind of stuff. Come to the shows like this, talk to the guys. There's lots of them here. Ponsse is probably, if not one of the biggest wood processing companies in the world as far as machinery, right? You guys make a lot of stuff.
Yep.
So check it out. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. with another video for you. Right now, go watch the rest of the videos. Good night, Irene.